Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I'm Shannon and today we're going to be talking about the best classes to take at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. So I thought this video would be very helpful to anybody that's considering going to U of I, is going to U of I, currently goes to U of I. Thought I'd make this video to help you guys out and just give you some insight into some classes that I've taken and I've really enjoyed and are pretty easy. Some of my friends have also told me some classes that they enjoyed taking and that were pretty easy, so I'm going to also include those. So thank you to my friends who told me some good classes to take, and a lot of them coincide with classes that I already have on my list. In this video, I'm going to start with talking about gen ed classes that are super easy and fun, and then I'll move into electives that are kind of just like any classes you can take that just fill other hours. And then I'll kind of go into major, minor focused classes that really anybody can take, but like the people in that major kind of get first priority, but then you can also take it if you want, if there's seats left. So the gen ed requirements differ for each like college. So I'm in the School of Business. So the gen eds that you have to take for that are a little different than like if you were an education major, for example, but most of them just fall into all of these categories. So there is a Composition 1 and an Advanced Comp. Most people will get out of their Comp 1 Gen Ed either from their ACT score, from the English part, or an AP test. There is Social and Behavioral Sciences, and in that there's Social Sciences and Behavioral Sciences. So 2 sections. Then there are Natural Sciences and Technology, so in that there's Physical Sciences and Life Sciences. Then we have Cultural Studies, and in that there's Western, Non-Western, and U.S. minorities. Next we have Humanities and the Arts, and for Humanities there's Historical and Philosophy, and then Literature and the Arts. So 2 different sections again, see a trend there. And then Quantitative Reasoning. So those are the 7 gen eds that U of I requires. So we are going to start with Social and Behavioral Sciences. So like I said before, there are 2 categories for this. There's Social Sciences and Behavioral Sciences. Starting off with Social Sciences, I have 2 classes that I recommend to you guys. The first being Econ 102 with Jose Vasquez. And I recommend highly taking this class with Vasquez because it's very simple, very easy. You still learn a little bit, but take it with Vasquez. Hopefully he's still teaching it. It was kind of like a hybrid class where you did some online, some in person, and I believe now you can just do it like all online or all in person. I'm not really sure. The other social science class that I recommend is RST 100, and RST 100 is called Recreation, Sport, and Tourism in Modern Society. This was such an easy class, and it was very interesting, and you kind of got to learn a little bit more about sports, a little bit more about tourism, just kind of all that stuff, just like in modern day. So basically, if you just went to class, consumed the information, took a little notes, studied a little bit for the tests, you would do fine on the test because they're very, very easy. Remember some kids in my class, they're like, can you send me the notes? Can you send me the notes? I'm like, why don't you just pay attention and take notes for yourself? And they didn't do good in the class, but most people do good in this class. Very simple, very easy, very interesting as well. So moving on to Behavioral Sciences, I recommend Psych 201, which is, I forget the name of it, but it is Intro to Social Psychology. Basically, you just learned a lot about psychology. It's Introduction to Psychology. Social psychology. So I kind of like learned some stuff in high school that was in this class, so that was really helpful too. Yeah, overall this class was just very interesting. You learned a lot. One downfall of this class is that a 94 is an A, not a 93. So you kind of do have to study and like take notes during class. There's quizzes and there's a midterm and a final. But honestly, most people I think get A's or at least B's. So I recommend taking this class. It's really interesting, and then it also can count for like if you're in the business school, it can count for one of your major classes as well. Moving on to Natural Sciences and Technology, there's 2 sections again, Life Sciences and Physical Sciences. I love all of these classes so much. Like this is my favorite gen ed category, and I still like take so many of them. Even though I fulfilled all the gen eds, I just take them for electives because I think they're so interesting. So we'll start with Physical Sciences because I have more for that. So ATMOS 100 is Introduction to Meteorology. I loved that class so much. Like I love the weather. I love learning about that stuff, watching the weather. It was so interesting to me, and I think it would be interesting to other people too. I know some people are like, oh, I just have to take this because I need this gen ed, but I personally thought it was so interesting. So it's lab based as well. So you go to class 2 days a week, and then you have a lab 1 day a week. and the lab is like 50 minutes and you kind of just like explore the weather and stuff. So it was super fun. The tests weren't too hard if you studied. You kind of just had to know the basic information, and there's definitely like extra credit and stuff because I didn't get like high A's on every single test, but I still like got an A in the class. So I really recommend it. The professor is really funny and strange, but it's like kind of a good combination, and he was interesting to listen to. So I recommend that. Also, sorry if I say recommend so much in this. I don't know what else to say. One of my favorite classes is Geology 104. It can also be ECE 104. So when you're signing up, it can be either of them. Geology 104 is Geology of the National Parks, and I love national parks so much. If you like national parks, take this class for a gen ed, or even if you don't need to, just take it. It's with Professor Pettyjohn, I believe is his name. Very nice guy. This class is online as well. So I think it might be in person too, but I recommend taking this class online. There's some homeworks, there's quizzes, there's a lot of extra credit in this class, so if you don't do well on like homeworks, the homeworks are a little tricky, but like he gives you so much extra credit that you should get an A. And then you get to do a fun project about the national parks at the end of the year. I thought it was so fun. My boyfriend didn't like it as much as I did, but I really liked it, so I recommend taking it. And then my friend Cam told me that he really liked Geology 118, which is natural disasters. So I don't know a lot about that one. Oh my God, my toenails just came off. And I think this would kind of be similar to both of the classes I just mentioned. I believe this one is also online, so recommend taking it online if there's that option. But yeah, he said it was really easy and fun, so take that. I kind of want to take that too, so I might actually take that next year. And then for life sciences, I recommend Fission 120, which is like kind of just about nutrition. I am taking this in the fall, but a lot of girls in my sorority have taken it. I remember when I lived in the house, they're all taking it, and they said it was super easy and interesting because it's kind of just about nutrition. So I think I recommend taking that one online because I remember people who took it in person, they didn't go to class, and it was like fine that they didn't go to class, but they would have rather taken it online. So now moving on to cultural studies. I don't have too many classes for these because I personally didn't like the cultural studies gen ed classes as much as like the sciencey ones. But for non-Western, I recommend RST 242, and the name of that is Nature and American Culture. I think I took this one like a long time ago, but basically you just like do a discussion post, a quiz, like an assignment each week. And this class is online only, so it was really nice. You only had to do a little bit of work each week. It's only 8 weeks. And also the classes that I'm saying are online are usually only for 8 weeks. So for the Western part of cultural studies, Cam told me a class that he really liked, and I've heard from a lot of people that they really liked this class. It's Ants, Animal Science 250, which is Companion Animals in Society. So you gotta learn about animals and whatever else. I don't know because I haven't taken it, but I've heard good things about this class. So for quantitative reasoning, at least in the business school, you can get this from like any kind of math class. I got it first for Stat 100, which I very much recommend. Stat 100, it's just your basic entry-level statistics class with Carly Flanagan. Need to take it with her. I'm pretty sure she's the only teacher. I would recommend taking this online, like the completely online version. I took it in person, and I just wish that I would have taken it online. I know a lot of people liked going to class because they actually needed to learn, because Carly's a great teacher, and she teaches like at a very good pace for people who have never heard of statistics in their life. So I recommend taking it online if you're kind of familiar with statistics, if you really like math, if you're good at math, take it online because she just records her lectures, so you can kind of skip through stuff if you want. But if you do like that in-person teaching style, take it in person. Some people that took stats in high school say that like this class is literally easier than their stats class in high school. So now we'll move on to humanities. There's 2 sections again for this. There's historical and philosophy, and then literature and the arts. I feel like you have to take so many humanity classes like compared to all the other gen eds. So I've got a few for you guys. So for historical and philosophy, I recommend SPED 117, which is the culture of disability. I learned so much in this class. Like before I took it, I did not know about like different disabilities, what people have to go through, all that stuff. I had no idea, and now I know so much more, and I'm so glad I do. This class, I believe you do some readings, some discussion posts, some assignments, And then for my class, specifically, like my teacher, I know some people didn't have to do this. I had to write like maybe like a 5-page paper of like a document about a documentary. So it wasn't that bad. I really enjoyed it. It was super interesting, and you kind of got to pick which documentary you wanted to watch and then write about it. This is an 8-week online class as well. So loved it. I really recommend this class. So for literature and the arts, I recommend Theater 101. Everyone recommends Theater 101. It's very easy. It's an 8-week online class. So you just had to do like little assignments that corresponded to kind of what the readings were for that week. And then you did have to go see a play towards the end of the year and then just do a little write-up on it. Even if you don't want to go see a play, I still recommend taking Theater 101 for your humanities gen ed, because there's so many other worse humanities gen eds that you could take, so take this one. Now moving on to advanced comp. Advanced comp is required for like everybody. I'm pretty sure you can't get out of advanced comp with like a high school class like you could for like Comp 1. But I recommend taking BTW 250, which is like business technical writing. You kind of just like learned about different like business writing things like memos, helping your resume, cover letters, social media stuff. And personally, I recommend taking this with Mr. Dudek. So John Dudek, he should still be teaching it. I really liked him. He was a really good teacher, really friendly. There are so many BTW 250 teachers, and a lot of them are not as good. They grade really hard. They make you do things every single day. But for my experience in BTW 250 with Mr. Dudek, we had 5 major assignments, all focused on things that would actually help me in the future in like my career in business. And even if you're not a business major or anything similar, I honestly still recommend taking this class because it can help you with your resume, it can help you with your cover letter, it can help you like write a memo, because so many people like have to do those things. So there's some classes that I have that are like double whammies. So there are 2 gen eds in one class. The first one is Anth 103, which is an 8-week online class. It's called Anthropology in a Changing World. So this fulfills your non-Western and a social, either social or behavioral science. I don't remember. I wrote both. Basically just did like a reading or a video, a discussion post, and then an assignment. And it was pretty interesting too. It was not a lot of work. Recommend doing that because it fulfills 2 gen eds. So my next double whammy class for gen eds is recommended by my friend Manal, and it's Education 202. Education 202 is social justice, school, and society. I just have it on my piece of paper because I haven't taken this class, so I'm not that familiar with it. But I remember when I was living in the sorority house, a lot of people were taking this and they really liked it because it fulfilled 2 gen eds. I know some people thought it was like a lot of work. Manal really liked it. Manal's also an education major, so she recommends it. So if you're an education major, I would probably take this one. You probably have to, not sure though. I recommend taking this class if you need an advanced comp and a humanities. Thank you, Manal, for recommending that. So those are all of the gen ed classes that I have for you guys. And now we're just going to go into some elective classes that are kind of just like for certain majors or just for like anybody to take that are kind of fun, easy. So my first one is drug use and abuse, which is CHLH 243. It's online 8 weeks. It's so easy. The answer is A to every single quiz or midterm you take. Don't take my word for that because they might change it, but I took it last semester and it was still A. The next elective class I recommend is Advertising 150. And this is just an introduction to advertising. It's taught by Steve Hall. Hopefully is still taught by him because he's such a good teacher. He's so passionate about advertising and he makes it really fun. You just learn like kind of the basic advertising stuff. It's fun. You get to watch ads. You get to learn about business side of advertising and the creative side of advertising. You get to like kind of create your own ad, which was really fun. The next 4 classes I have are all kinesiology classes. If you just need an elective class to take, just take a kin class. The first one is Kin 142, which is contemporary issues in sport. These are all like sport related because kinesiology is, I don't know what the definition of it is, but it's kind of like sport related. You do your reading or whatever, discussion post, quiz, assignment. Simple, 8-week online. Next, Kin 249 is sport and modern society. I think I took this class last semester and 8-week online again. It's literally a discussion post, like a reply, obviously, discussion post, reply, and a quiz. And that is all you have to do for it. 3 credit hours, take it. And then next is Kin 247. It's pretty similar. This one is Intro to Sports Psychology. I'm taking this one next semester. My boyfriend took it and a lot of other people have taken it. It's like the same thing as the other ones. Discussion post, reply, quiz, maybe an assignment. I'm not quite sure. If you like exercising or like playing sports, there are a ton of kin classes that you can take that are like kin 102, 103, 104. There's swimming, there's basketball, there's volleyball, there's badminton, there's bowling, ice skating. I think I've said them all. They're all 1 credit hour. I took swimming this past semester when we went online only, and we just did a workout once a week and it was super fun. So got me exercising, moving for just an hour. Some of them are 8 weeks, some of them are 16 weeks. You can kind of pick and choose. And then some of them are like 2 days a week, some of them are 3 days a week. I'm not sure if they're gonna have these classes in the fall because of COVID, but if they do, they might be online. So if you're kind of interested in just like having an exercise class, I recommend doing that. Now moving on to the major and minor focused classes, there are a few like business classes that I have listed that are super fun and easy. Even if you aren't like a business major, you can still take these if it's not filled. So first one is BADM 320, which is marketing. It is taught by Professor Wohlers. Love him. He's such a funny guy, really passionate about marketing. He has a YouTube channel with like over like 500,000 subscribers. Crazy. This class is so simple. Oh my god, it's so simple. Take it if you can, please. And it's really interesting too. My next recommendation is BADM 310, which is management, but online, the online version of this class. I took it last summer for 8 weeks and it was not bad at all. I just had to do some homework things. There was like a midterm, but you got to use your notes. Take it online. Any class you have, honestly, try to take it online. It's going to be so much easier. You're going to be able to use your notes. Unless it says like Proctor U when you sign up for it, then they're going to watch you take your exam. Then don't do it online. So I have a few classes that Cam also recommended. Also shout out to Cam. ACE 161, which is microcomputer applications. I'm pretty sure this class you can take instead of CS 105, which is computer science, and it is required for a lot of majors. I really recommend taking this class, especially because I believe CS 105 got a lot harder since I took it. I think the teacher changed, the whole material changed. CS 105 was really, really tricky if you did not have a friend or somebody that knew like coding. So I would recommend taking ACE 161 to fulfill your CS 105 requirement if you have to take CS 105. So the last class I will be mentioning is Econ 302, which is Inter-Microeconomic Theory. So it's like micro but more advanced. I enjoyed this class. I took it my sophomore year in person with Professor Diani. There's a few professors that you can choose from. I really liked him. I liked his teaching style. This class was a little tricky at some points, especially later in the semester. You kind of actually had to study for it like hard. I studied for it really hard, but I'm also like a big studier and I hate not knowing things, so I always study a lot. But Cam is taking it online right now in the summer because all classes are online, and he says it's pretty easy online. So if you have the opportunity to take this class online, I definitely would recommend it because I know classes that are supposed to be in person but are online now are just a lot easier to take, to learn. You can use your notes on exams. I'm not sure about this class specifically, but for other classes that I'm taking, like a class right now, I can use my notes for all the midterms. So I'm just kind of guessing that you probably can. So Cam recommends Econ 302, the online version to take. He said that some people might not agree with him that it's easy. I thought it was pretty easy in person until like the end of the semester, but if I could actually use my notes and like learn at my own pace, I think it would be super easy. So those are all of the classes that I have for you guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and thought it was helpful. If you guys liked this video, make sure to thumbs it up so I know that you liked it. Comment if you have any other like video recommendations or you just want to leave me a comment or any questions about U of I in general. I'll be posting a lot more U of I videos in the future coming up because it's almost back to school time. So subscribe if you are interested in that and want to stick around. But again, thank you guys so much for watching and I hope you have a great rest of your day.